96.5 KECO in Elk City, Oklahoma. 4 minutes after the hour. We're sitting at about 50 degrees. It was 47 when I got up. Let's see what my phone says. Hold on. Okay, 48 according to my phone, 50 according to the machine on the back porch or whatever you want to call it. We're going to get up to about 57 today. So actually, we're going to be cooler today. Tomorrow back in the 60s. Saturday close to 70. A dip on Sunday. Monday close to 70. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we've got the 22nd, Christmas Eve, the 23rd, Christmas Eve, the 24th, Christmas Day, the 25th, in the mid-70s. This is really great late March weather. We'll have your forecast coming up at the bottom of the hour. 96.5 KECO. Good morning, wherever and whenever and however that you're listening. You may be listening now. You may be listening at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I don't know. We put it online, podcast form at KECOFM.com, audio only. We also put it on YouTube, which you can see in here. It's on Facebook. We're trying, we're giving people multiple, what I call it multiple opportunities to see and hear.
What I do is I do the show, and then I go home, and I watch it on Facebook, and then I listen to the podcast, and then I read the transcript that you've typed up for me. I can't get enough.
You gotta, like Adam Arkin said, you gotta have a backup. Through New Year's Eve, Barbara Dyson Ford is offering 0% interest. That's 0, nothing, nada, nil, zilch. 0% interest for 5 years on all 2025 F-150s, of course, but also the 25 Explorers, the 25 Escapes, even 25 Transit vans. So if you got a business and you need a van, 0% interest for 5 years and no payments for 90 days. Barbara Dyson Ford. Find them in the northeast part of Elk City. You find them online, BarbaraDysonFord.net. Forecast coming up at the bottom. Jared Atha with your local award-winning morning news. But in the meantime, two special guests joining us in the room. Brian and Briley Baca of Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton, Oklahoma, a block and a half south of Homeland. Go get you a sack of groceries and go by and see them, and they can help you out. Gentlemen, good morning. First of all, thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, let's go back in time to 1 year ago. No, let's go back to 2020. Let's talk about 2025. What kind of a year? Because I've forgotten. I can't remember anything. Financially, how was 2025? Because I really do try not to pay much attention to the news anymore.
You're smart.
I don't want to see it day to day. I don't want to get freaked out. I don't want to get scared. I want to be able to sleep at night. So I didn't watch it. You guys do watch it because you have to.
Yep.
How was it?
I think the market was really good this year. I mean, if we could have a market like this every year, everybody would be in great shape. But we had a little bit of a hiccup in April, and and that's to be expected. A lot of times you'll have 2 to 3 times during the year where you have a pretty significant retracement. And this year we had one, so that's a plus for sure. But everybody's account should be pretty much close to the all-time highs. Everybody talks about, well, I'm scared of the stock market. I don't want to put money in the market. You're going to lose money. Well, you're going to lose money if you bail out when we have these little scary moments. That's almost a surety that you're going to lose money during those times. But as long as you don't sell and freak out and think, I'm just going to cash, I'm not going to get in this anymore. If you've got a long-term time horizon, 3 to 5 to 10 years or more, then you're going to be just fine.
And I think it's important to, and just kind of what you said, Nathan, I think it's important to know yourself as an investor too.
That's right.
For example, we had a family in the office this week, and one thing that they talked about was they have started really looking at their 401k account. And the reason is because this particular family, or one of the family members, was fixing to retire. And so they are going to need their money here pretty quick. And so that's why they are paying more attention to it. But one thing that they said was they are more nervous now, or have been more nervous over the past few months, because they are looking at it seriously every day and seeing the fluctuations. And one thing that I said is our most successful clients that are retired are the people that do not look at their accounts all the time. Now, and one thing that I said is it's important to be a good steward of your money and pay attention to what you have. But there's a difference of being a good steward of your money and paying attention so much that you are, causing yourself grief, sleepless nights, stress, that type of stuff, because that's not what retirement is about at all. And keep in mind, what Dad was talking about, what happened in, end of March, early April with the big dip with the the tariff announcement. That's what caused the big dip earlier in the year. If you would have sold during that time, you'd be kicking yourself right now because we've had a huge rebound since then. So the people that stayed disciplined during that time are being rewarded now.
The panic tendency is, oh, the prices are dropping. I better sell now so I don't lose even more. But you actually cut your own throat, don't you?
Yes.
If you do that.
Best thing to do is if you have some cash on the sidelines is to, buy some more, add a little bit more to it, and then you'll be rewarded over time. And we went through this back in 2022 when the Fed started raising interest rates because it was devastating for the stock market for the first 9 months of that year. Well, I say devastating. It wasn't devastating. It was like what we used to call a blue light special. So you put more money in if you can. But in 2022, Bradley and I had this conversation in the office. We were continually adding assets. Clients were continually adding assets. And I told him and I told Nikki in our office, I said, you guys just watch. We're putting this money in at lower prices right now. I know it's not doing anything right now, but when this market takes off, it's going to explode, and everybody's going to be rewarded at that time. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, there was jumps, in our accounts every day of 7 figures a lot of times in our clients' accounts, cumulatively. That was a tremendous rebound, and it's still going on.
Well, and that's one thing, and part of our process is if we see, we have these crazy things in the market happen, anomalies. We will send out a video from time to time updating our clients.
I saw one of those just yesterday.
Didn't we look cute?
Yeah, you did. I love the Santa hats. They look great. They just look fabulous.
That's exactly right. So, and that was more or less just like a market update 2025 recap. But for example, one thing that happened was that during the tariff dip earlier this year, that was such a fast and deep retracement happened very quickly that we sent out a video saying, hey, the market's down, X amount right now. If you have money sitting on the sidelines that you would like to invest, now is the time to put it to work. And we had some people, or do a Roth conversion. We've talked about that before on here on the show.
Great timing.
And we had some people that did that. We had some people that didn't. We had one family in particular. I can remember this. It was a Tuesday during the week, which was, I think, the bottom of the market. They did a large Roth conversion. And then that Wednesday, Trump announced at noon, I can remember this, at noon on the White House lawn that there's going to be a 90-day moratorium on the tariffs, and the market just exploded that day. I believe it was up 4, 5, 6%, something like that in that day. Just
in a day.
In a day. One of the biggest swings in stock market history. And
I remember that we were on a conference call that day when it happened.
And that person couldn't have timed it any better. They got all that growth in the tax-free account, their Roth IRA, and if they wouldn't have done that, all that rebound would have happened in the taxable side of things. And so that's part of our process is that, if something like that happens, and that's where working with a financial planner is important because, some people, I've heard, well, I don't necessarily need to work with a financial planner because, I can go out and, do free trading and that type of stuff on my own. That is 100% true. But we are not just doing investing. We're doing full-blown planning for people, and I think that's where people, make their money or a lot more money. And I'll let Dad talk about this before, but I think recently you had talked about the difference between working with a planner and not.
Well, I found an illustration online, and I've looked at this stuff for years, but how much difference a good financial advisor makes in your life. And this illustration showed that the net worth from ages 45 to 77 suggests that a final lifetime net worth would be reached of typically of 2 to 3 times more assets when working with a financial advisor. So, for instance, if a person at 45 had a net worth of $500,000, this is the actual illustration that they used. If a person had a net worth, I'm not talking about investable assets, I'm talking about overall net worth at 45 of $500,000. Their end of life net worth, which whatever that is, if 70s or 80s, that it would be $3.24 million with a financial advisor versus $1.56 million without a financial advisor. And you might think, well, 1.56 doing it on my own is still pretty good, and it is. It's obviously pretty good. But if there's some tweaks we can make, and we do this all the time with clients, we come up with little snippets and things that, hey, if you did this and this, it would be a little bit more efficient for you and more optimal. over time. And the more time a person has, then the more they're able to reap those benefits long term. So, it's a significant difference working with a financial planner. And you got to think, we probably have, with the experience we have and doing this every day, we probably have a little bit more knowledge and experience than most people if they don't do this on a daily basis. Just like us trying to do your job. If I came in here, worked with you for a week or so.
If I had to run that switchboard,
the thing looks
this
like
radio show wouldn't happen.
Cockpit of an F-15 fighter is what it looks like.
What a week. Watch me a week. I can do that. 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. Brian and Bradley Baca in the room. Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton. The website, retirewithbaca.com. The phone number, 323-6800. The office, a block and a half south of Homeland. So 25 a good year. You expect, and you said this in the video, you expect 26 to be pretty good too.
Yeah, we do. Barring anything crazy happening, that's one thing that I said. We all remember. 2020 came out of left field with COVID. The 2022 stock market decline, that was very unique as well, with the Fed raising interest rates essentially overnight. That was the first year, I believe, in history that the stock market and the bond market were down double digits in 1 year. There was no place to hide in 2022.
Be very careful of what you watch on TV, too, because the media does try to scare you.
Oh, absolutely.
There's been scary moments. As long as I've been in this business, in 32 years, there's always been something that people are concerned about short term. Just watching the TV last night, they were talking about the lady, I can't remember the lady's name, in Trump's cabinet that had the interview with the Vanity Fair people, and the media is just trying so hard to get something stirred up with that. And I saw that, I was curious about Trump's response, and he just blew it off. He said he stands behind everything she said. So, they didn't want to hear that.
Well, and I think it's interesting, Dad and I struggle with the same emotions that our clients do. I mean, we're human as well when we see stock market declines. But I always find it very interesting when we're going through those downward markets, say like in 2022, for example, or even the tariff crash this year. Anywhere you look online, the economy is going down, the dollar's going to be devalued, all these things to just scare people.
Yeah, and everything comes and goes, and everything business as usual, and the market goes up.
But then, this year, the market has done very, very well. You can find very little positive news on the market. And it is out there, but the fear-mongering is so bad because fear sells. I mean, why do people watch the news? They want to know what's going on. They want to be informed, of course. But if everything seems all, hunky-dory, nice, good, people aren't going to watch as much. People aren't going to sell as much. I always think back, I hear radio ads all the time, or even TV ads. And I'll pick on gold for just a second. Gold's done very well this year. And I think that this is one thing that we were going to talk about too. Gold's pretty much at all-time highs. And it's done very good. But I heard a radio ad not too long ago, a few weeks ago, that said, the dollar is going to be devalued. You need to, buy gold as a hedge against the devaluation of the dollar. And I always tell people, think about what they're doing. If these companies honestly believed that their gold or that the dollar was going to be devalued so much that we had to rely on gold as our reserve currency, there is no way they would take your dollar and give you their gold if they actually believed that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do think gold has a place in someone's portfolio. It may be a small portion, just as some diversification.
We have some clients that have gold. We have a strategy that we have different ETFs, exchange-traded funds, and we use GLD, which is gold ETF, and we have that in some clients' portfolios.
But I don't think that, the economy's so bad that we're going to have to use gold as, to feed our families and that type of stuff.
Well, just be prepared. I mean, next year, even the year after, they're going to be talking about Taiwan and China and all that
absolutely.
stuff. So there's always going to be negative stuff and things to be concerned about. But just do what you do. Control what you can control. That's the biggest thing. A lot of the stuff and all the noise that you see is out of our control. There's literally nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is prepare for your future, your family's future, and just live life and enjoy the however many more days you have left.
Brian and Bradley Baca, Advanced Financial Strategies. What's on your mind regarding Christmas?
I think going into the holidays, people need to be aware of their spending. It's no fun to spend a bunch of money on Christmas and then have to pay for it for the next 12 months on your credit cards. So be very careful, be very disciplined, and I think you'll enjoy Christmas a lot more. I saw a deal on TV the other night that one of the ladies was talking about. It's harder for them to afford Christmas now, and that she's talked to her friends and her family and said, let's just get together and have a dinner and not exchange gifts, kind of do a secondary Thanksgiving. And I thought that was a great idea. And she said she got absolutely no pushback at all from her family. She thought maybe some of them would say, no, I'm going to go ahead and buy gifts anyway because that's what we're used to doing. They didn't do that. They said, you know what, that's a great idea. It gets to be too much. It really does. When you have a list of 20 people and you spend all pretty much October, November, and procrastinate up till December 24th to buy Christmas gifts, it's stressful.
It is stressful.
Oh, well, and when you're in a position where you go out and you get a gift just to say you did it,
Right. I know.
then it loses the significance
Yes, it
of the
does.
gift.
Well, or if just because somebody expects it and it's really not appreciated.
Yeah.
That's the other part of it. It makes you feel bad about, why did I even do this? So, just be aware of that and try not to, spend money on things that possibly is going to be, thrown aside in a week or so.
Well,
short-term happiness.
And I think that's a really good point. Have you guys seen I would call it a trend. I've seen it on social media quite a bit of, mom and dad take their little kids and ask them, what did you get for Christmas last year? And they can't answer it. They don't know. They can't remember. But basically in the same breath, they ask, hey, where did we go this year on vacation? And the kids can tell them exactly where they went, what they did, when they went. And I just think that's very interesting. And I think it is, to me, and I think this really is in line with how we do our planning for our clients. We are very much of the mindset, if you can afford it comfortably, go on trips, get those experiences with your family, because that's going to be, and that's something that we talked about in our video yesterday, that's going to be what your family remembers much more than your account balance. People on their deathbed do not say, hey, can you pull up my Schwab account and tell me what my IRA is worth? No. They talk about memories that they created with their family.
Well, that's a good point, Bradley. There's a book I've read, and it's called Die with Zero, and it talks about making memory dividends with your families. And, in fact, if you'll remind me next time, I'll bring you guys that book. I actually looked at it last night before I was kind of making some notes, but there's a lot to it as far as enjoying life, and it's not about spending money and maxing up your credit cards. But I will tell you, talking about some people not buying Christmas gifts, my granddaughter and my grandson will have a nice Christmas gift under the tree. I'm not gonna not buy the kids. Christmas is a lot of people probably push back on this. It's for kids for sure. They love it. I used to love it when I was a kid. Have some great memories. And I want those kids to be able to do that. But as far as adults, and adult gifts are a lot more expensive too, so be very careful.
I think it's really it's funny how things change. I can remember great memories growing up with Christmas, and I can remember you waking up in the morning at 3-4 a.m. because I was so excited for Christmas morning. And in my mom and dad's house, they have our back room that it was kind of separated from the living room, and that's where we did Christmas. But I can remember they would close the doors. They could shut that off. They would close the doors and put like some tape on it. So that way I couldn't get up in the middle of the night.
You're like the coach or the band director on the school trip, putting the strip of tape on the door to make sure kids don't get up.
Yeah, and they would have like a video camera there. And I can remember one year my mom was like, this video camera's running. And so we're going to know if you go back there and check your cameras.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't running.
Were you sneaky? Were you trying to find out?
Oh yeah, if that wasn't there, I was gonna get up in the night and go look. But
Riley was very resourceful.
But it's just one of those things. It's so cool now that now that I'm older and I've got a daughter of my own now. Vivi's 2. But it's just the good memories I can remember as a little boy. My mom and dad bringing me to the Elk City Christmas lights, and I've got a picture of me for a few years, sitting on Santa's lap, that type of stuff. So I want my daughter to have those same memories, those same experiences. So she's 2 years old. I was like, hey, last Friday, we brought her 2 Fridays ago. We brought her up to the Christmas lights, wanting to ride the carousel, go see Santa. Well, unfortunately, the carousel was down. But I was like, we'll go see Santa. She's going to love it.
She had the same reaction Bradley did.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely clung to my wife and spider monkeyed her and did not want to go see Santa. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah, it wasn't happening.
But I just love that. And those are memories that, we're always going to have. And that is what is important to me is time with family, not necessarily what we receive but it's time with family.
And I'll tell you too, we did come over here and we ate at a restaurant, Mountain Man Pizza.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
So fun.
What a great place.
Incredible.
Did you throw the
nachos.
axes, or did
We
you have time to
didn't
do
have
that,
time
or
to
just
do
eat?
it, but people were awesome. They're very friendly, and the pizza was great. So what a great place that you guys had.
Best
here.
nachos in Western Oklahoma? Question mark. Incredible.
We don't really have time to
Yep.
get into the other thing and do it justice.
Yeah.
So maybe next month,
Okay.
you guys want to?
we had a plan and we didn't stick to it.
We got close.
We got close.
We got like 2/3 of the plan. So we did pretty well,
Exactly right.
actually.
What is your question? We'll talk. We'll give a
We'll-
teaser.
we'll
and talk about
tease
it
it.
next month.
We want to go. You hear about investing. Everybody, okay, investing money. So you buy a stock, buy a fund. You take some of your money and you apply it to a fund or a stock or whatever. But that's usually as far as it goes to the average person.
And I think this will be really good. And you're right. We don't have time to get into it, but I think it is something very important. And Dad and I talk about this all the time. Whenever we sit down with people, throughout the whole process, we may spend 6, 8, 10 hours, between planning and meetings and that type of stuff. But you don't really get the opportunity of really to go into depth of what you're investing in, the internal workings of it.
Yeah.
Who knows what a mutual fund is, but you don't know how it really works.
Yeah.
Or an ETF, how it works.
What happens with this? That's the essence of it. Where does this money go?
Yeah. So
What happens with this money that I'm investing? It goes where, and how does it come back as more money?
I see it on the screen and it goes up and down, but why is it doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
bet. No, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that next time.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
We talk about what your why is for, retirement, living, that type of stuff. And, what is your why for investing? What is it doing for you?
Brian and Bradley back at Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton. If you know where Homeland is, the office is about a block and a half south of there. The website, retirewithbaca.com. The phone number, 323-6800. Go see them, and they will probably even put their Santa hats on if you ask them to.
Absolutely. Hey,
Absolutely.
I got to give a shout out real quick to Barbara Dyson. On my way here, it was like 6:40 in the morning. I pulled my truck in, and Sean with
Sean
their
Carlson was there.
shop, he was there, took my truck, so they're changing my oil and that type of stuff. So great customer service, but I thought
Man.
that was impressive. I pulled up at 6:40, and he's been there. It's open, ready to go.
And that goes with any business. I always tell Briley, and it's how we try to run our business. We try to make it easy on our clients, and they do too. So if you try to make it easy on people, they're going to be more apt to do business with you. Don't make it difficult on your customers.
And they do a great job.
Aren't you surprised sometimes at the businesses that fail at that?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And make it difficult for you to do business
We
with?
talk about it all the
Yeah,
time.
they wonder why business is slow.
Gee, they changed their hours. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
The light's off. The door's locked. They can't get in. Or walk in and nobody wants to talk to me.
Absolutely.
Well, why are we making more money?
Everybody likes to do business with people that make it easy.
Make it
on them.
easy.
Exactly.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas. God bless.
Brian and Bradley back, Advanced Financial Strategies.
Keep chugging that coffee. The Brewer boys will be back with the early morning show in a couple of minutes.
So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. Oilfield customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oilfield or agriculture. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing, and if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. The business I've done with the oil field, they got to see your face. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the customer prefers, that's what we're going to do. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings. In the oil field, sometimes you get a call for a crazy, hey, can you get this? And you go find it for them. American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
Solves that problem.
Need fast, reliable pumping services? Call the pros at 3B Pumping Services in Elk City. They specialize in dependable pumping for all kinds of industries, keeping your operation running smoothly and on time. With years of experience and a commitment to getting the job done right, you can count on 3B to deliver. Visit them at 3200 West 20th Street in Elk City or call 580-225-4114. That's 3B Pumping Services. Efficiency you can trust, service you can rely on.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gretaman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
Briley Bacca is an investment advisor representative of and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Every dollar you save for retirement has a silent partner, and it's your crazy Uncle Sam. He's waiting with his hand out, ready to take a chunk of your IRA, your 401k, and even your Social Security if you're not careful. But here's the truth. You can fight back. With the right strategy, you can keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket and out of Washington's. At Advanced Financial Strategies, we specialize in family wealth management, helping families in western Oklahoma cut down on future tax bills, maximize income, and keep control of their financial future. Don't wait for the IRS to decide how much of your retirement you get to keep. Call me, Briley Bacca, a certified financial planner professional here in Clinton, at 323-6800 or visit our website, retirewithbacca.com. Advanced Financial Strategies, your money, your future, your choice.
For garage doors, repairs, and more, call C&M Overhead Door at 580-515-1688.
The Early Morning Show. Think of it as a continental breakfast for the mind.
Every morning there's a free continental breakfast.
Continental breakfast.
It's back here on 96.5 KECO.
So it's continental then?
Mm-hmm.
Dee 7:31. I tell you, the human mass that just left this room.
Woo!
I mean, half of the people left, but they took out about 2/3 of the mass, okay? 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. For Landry, for you to keep making money, your equipment and your machinery have got to keep running. I mean, you're only as good as the tools you use, the machinery you use. When the machinery breaks down, when the tools break down, you're not making more money. American Hose and Supply will keep you running. American Hose and Supply. The machinery's got to have the hoses. American Hose and Supply is inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse. And basketball. Tonight is the night. And we're feeling all right on Big Elk TV because Elk City is hosting Weatherford. It's a doubleheader, Landry. Girls and boys. Have we talked about this? If they would have the boys game first, followed by the girls?
In the old days, I was there for a while. I think they were switching.
Oh, were they?
I don't know if this was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Because forever it was always just our girls first, then the boys. I think that might be a nice change. I don't know.
Something different.
Well, we've got both games this evening, 6:30, tip time, BigOakTV.com, BigOakTV.com. Girls first, followed by boys. Weatherford visiting Elk City hosting Weatherford. And on Paragon TV, Duke is at Commute, 6 p.m. That's an earlier start time. Duke at Commute, 6 p.m. Sentinel at Burns Flat, Dill City at 6:30. That's ParagonTV.com. 7:33. It's about 50 degrees-ish. We got your weather coming up. We got Jared with news. We got Nathan and Landry.
While you wait for the early morning show to return on KECO, please enjoy these complimentary copies of National Geographic.
My dad and I don't change our minds easily, but we really wanted better grades on our cotton. So a couple of years ago, we met with Keith and the team at Carson County Gin. I'm cotton farmer Spencer Smith, and my dad is Jimmy Smith. We liked what we heard and saw in that meeting. We liked it a lot. Keith Mixon said he wanted to earn our business, so we gave him a chance, and it paid off. The communication was great through the whole process. They contacted me on a regular basis. When I called them, someone always answered the phone. The cotton came out looking great. Their attention to detail got us a higher grade and a higher price. Turnaround time was excellent, but they made sure to do the job right to get us better, cleaner cotton. And then they helped us sell it for more money. Carson County Gin is located near White Deer, Texas, west of Pampa. You'll find them online if you Google them. Dad and I trust the team at Carson County Gin with our livelihood. They're the kind of people we want to do business with.
We did the Veterans Monument in Oklahoma City. At the time we did it, they didn't want any names on it. They were just doing the different wars in bronze panels on granite. 20 years later, they decide they want all the veterans' names on the back of the monument. Well, there's no way to engrave it, so they wanted to put bronze names on there. And we said, you can't, that won't work well. They ended up finding someone that would put the bronze names on there, and then they started kind of popping off and everything. So then they called us to go in and see how we could clad it and get the names on it after the fact. So there's just things that come up in the granite industry where you have to investigate and figure out how to fix it or create it. Some things you just won't do, but there's projects that are nice out there that not everybody will have a hand in, will want to have a hand. Willis Granite Products. Our website is willisgranite.com.
They have a record of standing by their drivers. Their doors are always open, and their communication is direct and honest. They want to help you build a career. Fair warning, though, if you're chasing 50 cents more an hour, Canyon Oilfield Services might not be right for you. But if you're looking for continuous work with a team that sticks with you in good times and bad, then Canyon is where you want to be. Apply online at canyonoilfield.com or go by the office a mile and a half south of the Elk City Golf Course. At Canyon Oilfield Services, the key word is service.
You got 5-6 tractors out there, you got a dozer, a traco, a grader, something like that. I mean, you go through a lot of oil in a season. I mean, you'll use a few hundred gallons in a season. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. They can come in and talk to us, see what they want, or give us a call, and we can come out and see what they have, fill their tanks, set them tanks. That's what we've done here in the past. We've converted a lot of farmers over to our brand, our house brand of motor diesel oil. The price savings it's huge for them. We sell it to oil field companies also. They use it in frac pumps, and they're not happy, you know it, and it's working great for them.
Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse.
The price savings it's huge for them.
Level up your fitness at Modern Fitness. With 24-hour access, you can work out anytime you want. Modern Fitness in Elk City. Get in shape and have fun doing it at a really nice gym.
Information, entertainment. Nathan and Landry Brewer call it infotainment. And it continues right now. The Early Morning Show on KECO.
96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. What are the big stories you want to talk about? Carter Electric, fully licensed and insured 24 hours a day, and they can install and maintain a Generac generator for you. Carter Electric, 225-2447. Here's your forecast. Today, actually a little cooler, upper 50s. We'll say upper 50s today. So the temperature's not going to change much. It was 47 when I woke up. We're only going to get to about 59, 58, 59. So you're looking at only a 10 to 12 degree rise. And yet cooler this afternoon than yesterday. North winds 15 to 25. Maybe that's the weather story of today. It's going to be windier. North winds 15 to 25. Tonight, clear 28. So a cool start to your Friday. Tomorrow afternoon, about 63. So today, upper 50s. Tomorrow, low 60s. But then Saturday, we're going to break 70 on Saturday. So there you go. And then next week, you've probably all heard and seen, but man, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next week in the 70s for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Getting close to 8 on Christmas Day. Landry has one source which tells him they're predicting upper 70s, close to 80 on Christmas Day.
That makes me sad.
Pass the coffee. In the meantime, right now, sun up, about 48, 49, 50 degrees, somewhere in there. North winds at 15, humidity 41%. Jared with news coming up in about 12 more minutes. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Landry, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but are you at liberty to say anything about the Southwestern situation? Jared did the news story because the regional university, the regents for the regional Russo?
Yes,
I have no idea.
The regional university system of Oklahoma.
Okay.
There are 6 of those, by
the Russo people who oversee Oklahoma's regional, northwestern, southwestern, southeastern, blah, blah, blah. They oversee those colleges in the state of Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. They announced that President Diane Lovell will not be returning. Do you know anything? Can you tell us anything? What do you know? What are you at liberty to tell us?
I'm probably at liberty to say no more than what has been released publicly.
But do you know any more than what's been released publicly?
Not really.
Would you like to know more?
I would. Sure. I think a lot of people would. She went on leave early September, said she would be back January 2nd, and that's not going to come to pass. And so apparently we're looking to hire. I think I was told that we'll probably have an interim president until we hire a permanent full-time president.
Any truth to the rumor that you guys are going hard after Lane Kiffin to be the next president?
I'm not at liberty to say.
By cracky, I have ignored the text line all morning, and I have missed out on messages from both of our listeners. Good morning, fellas. Hope you're doing well. Let's get this party started. That came in 35 minutes ago. And then 2 minutes ago, someone wrote, what a beautiful spring morning. What a beautiful spring morning.
It is absolutely a beautiful spring.
What How is everybody doing on Christmas? A week from today is Christmas Day. All right, a week from yesterday, Christmas Eve. Week from today, Christmas Day. Is everybody done with their shopping? Has everybody been to the park to see the lights? Is everybody watching the Christmas movies? Is anybody out there? I thought about this, Landry. Do you think people are getting sick of the Christmas music yet? Although I will say this, it doesn't seem to be everywhere all the time like it was when we were growing up.
I know, and I've had that same thought. And maybe it's because some people don't care for the Christmas music, or they don't care for the constant Christmas music. This time of year, that's really all I want to hear.
Yeah.
I just want to hear Christmas music, and so I seek it out. If I'm downtown shopping, that's what I want to hear. If I'm at home, that's what I want to hear. If I'm in the vehicle, that's what I want to hear.
Now,
and by the way, if I'm at work, that's what I want to hear.
If you know me, you know this. My new favorite thing for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, my new favorite thing about Christmas and for Christmas is to spend a month watching Christmas movies. Now, yes, most of them aren't actually about Christmas. There's a story that takes place at Christmas time, but it's not necessarily about Christmas. But I really enjoy watching these movies. And that has become maybe my favorite thing about Christmas. I began, Landry, the first date, and now I keep track of the movies I watch. November the 8th is when I began. November the 8th, the first movie I watched was called Broadcasting Christmas with Dean Cain and Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Superman.
And last night, I watched a movie called Must Love Christmas. It was the 51st movie I've seen. I have watched 51 Christmas-related movies in the last month and 2 weeks.
So how was it? Last night.
Must
How
Love
was last
Christmas?
night's movie?
I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it quite a bit. You've seen it before, I think.
You said Must Love?
Must Love
Which
Christmas.
one is that?
It's about a novelist and a journalist. A novelist, a reclusive novelist who you find out she's had a rough record of love. She's had a bad love life herself, although she writes all these Christmas romance novels. And she goes back to Cranberry Falls to make a public appearance and gets stranded there and meets an old boyfriend. The old boyfriend she was stuck on and couldn't get over. Meanwhile, there's a journalist at a magazine who's fighting for his job and fighting for the magazine's future, and he wants to write about this reclusive best-selling author. And so he tracks her down in Cranberry Falls and tries to get her to let him write about her. And that's the story.
Boy, I cannot remember that to save my life.
I'm pretty sure you've seen it, yeah.
If I saw the cast.
And I really enjoyed because the acting's good. And the acting's good. Story's a little interesting, different than a lot of them.
And where is it set? Where's it
Cranberry Falls.
And do you know where that is?
No.
Is it in the mountains? It's Cranberry Falls, so it's probably a small town setting.
Yes. And there's a lot of it takes place at this charming little inn where Charles Dickens had stayed once.
Well, I need to watch that.
I think you've seen it
or
before.
Watch it again.
I had to so I looked to see where I could stream it.
Yeah.
And none of my sources that I had allowed me to watch it for free. I could have rented it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to.
No.
But it said, "Oh, you can watch it free on Pluto." I thought, I don't do I get Pluto? So I checked and I signed up for Pluto, which is free.
Pluto. Oh, Pluto is free.
Yeah.
Well, Pluto's free.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are a lot of movies on Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get Pluto.
It's free.
See, we got Tubi recently, also free.
Yeah.
I like those free ones.
Yeah. So
Pluto
that's what I did.
Free.
Pluto's free. I watched this movie on Pluto last night, hour and a half. That's the standard, Landry, hour and a half. Now, there are commercials, but okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the movie, and it's free.
Last night, my family watched. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready
Do you
for
have
this, Landry.
We watched my favorite Christmas movie of all time, White Christmas. Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, Vera Ellen, and General Waverly, played by Dean Jagger. I don't know if he's related to Mick.
It's incredible.
Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted...
Landry, one of our listeners says President Brewer has a very nice ring.
Mike, no kidding. When I told my kids we're looking for a new president, I had more than once said, why don't you do it? And they were serious.
You would hate that job, wouldn't you?
You know, I don't know that I'm suited for it. I don't know
the presidency.
I don't
Landry,
know.
the presidency.
Maybe I am.
Even if your unofficial mentor and guide were Randy Butler.
I almost texted Randy. I said, "Hey,
what are you doing?
We need a guy. At least we need an interim. Are you busy? Are you still selling internet? Or can you get away from the ranch a while?"
One of our listeners said, have you had the opportunity to watch one of the great classic Christmas movies yet, Gremlins? I have not.
Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister.
Nathan, when Bing and Danny Kaye came out and pretended to sing that song, I lost it.
Danny Kaye was the father of Ronnie Kaye, Oklahoma radio legend Ronnie Kaye.
Danny Kaye was not Danny Thomas.
No.
There were different Dannys.
Or Ronnie Kaye. Speaking of Landry, they told me that off air, in this room that a guy we were talking about built a barn dough.
Yeah.
In Weatherford, Oklahoma. Well, listen, if you listen to this radio station very long or pick up the Penny News, you can find those. Let me just tell you. Tell you what else you can find. The latest Penny News is out, and you can get vehicles there. You can get an Apache hay wagon. You can look at the Oklahoma Independent Stock Growers Association and their big January 10 meeting, Cattleman's Compass. That's on page 1. We've got a plumber there on page 1. We've got 4C livestock equipment. We got metal roofing and steel buildings, hay barns and carports. Look at all that, people. And by the way, with the holidays here, the Penny News schedule and, frankly, the Paragon, the KECO Cool 94 KADS schedule will be altered as well. The Penny News office is going to be closed a week from yesterday at noon. So we got to get out next week's paper early. So if you want to be in next week's Penny News, deadline day is this Friday, okay? This Friday. Well, that's tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's deadline day. So if you want to be in next week's Penny News, which will come out before Christmas, but if you want to be in it, we're going to deadline that sucker tomorrow. So tomorrow is our Monday for that. So be aware of that. But the Penny News, latest Penny News is out, and it's got everything you expect and more. It's got what you expect in there, Landry, but it's got so much more. Cattle, yes. Cars, yes.
Nathan,
services, yes. Jobs, yes. Trailers, yes.
There were never such devoted sisters. Remember that episode of MASH? Hawkeye and maybe BJ walk into a room and somebody says, "Are you two together?" And Hawkeye says, "In all kinds of weather."
That's funny.
That's a line from the song,
really
Nathan.
Funny. 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. The other big story, besides the Southwestern needs a new president story, the other big story in the state of Oklahoma is a football game tomorrow night in Norman, Oklahoma. The first time OU will have hosted a playoff game. And this is one of the best parts of the current playoff system, is that they actually get home games.
Yes!
There are actually games in college stadiums where the team has played all season.
That is where God intended college football games to be played.
I'm going to say something, and you're going to think I'm crazy for saying it, but I stand by it.
Okay.
I'm an OU fan.
That is nuts!
I would rather... Look, I'm glad they're playing at home tomorrow night. I really am. But I would even rather OU have to go to Tuscaloosa or South Bend or somewhere else than to play in one of these lifeless, heartless, bloodless, indoor neutral sites.
Actually, I don't disagree. I don't think that's crazy because I like college football games being played in college stadiums on college campuses because that's what is great about one of the great things about college football. You know, the college aspect, the student athlete,
the campus,
the student body left, the tradition, the campus, the 12th man, between the hedges.
I have a question.
Yes.
What does student body left
I have
even
no
mean?
idea. I have no idea what it is. It's like no buck centers. People say it, and they don't really know what it means. Nathan, I think Brent Venables, the OU head football coach of the head football quarterback in Norman, may have inadvertently confirmed something that you and I have suspected. John Mateer, OU starting quarterback, started the season as the Heisman frontrunner after about the first, 4 games or so. He is throwing the ball left and right and running, picking up yards and winning games and looking good doing it. And then against Auburn, he hits his throwing thumb on an Auburn helmet, breaks the thumb, has surgery. Dr. Shin puts some screws in 17 days later. He comes back, plays against Texas. OU loses, hasn't looked the same since. His accuracy has not been the same. His vision has not been the same. I think he's 3 inches shorter. He has not played as well. Well, in today's Oklahoman, there's a story about John Mateer. You know, you've seen him, and he's had that black tape around his thumb ever since.
Is that electrical tape?
Yeah, he got it from Culver. He got it from Brandon Culver.
Did Brandon send him a roll and say, here, son?
Well, guess what? John Mateer practiced without tape on his right thumb Monday. That was the story. The first time the Sooners starter was seen throwing a football without tape since his surgery back in September. And here's what Brent Venables said, in which I think he inadvertently confirmed what you and I have suspected. Quote, if you asked him, he still has some soreness, so he's not pain-free, Venables said Wednesday. From a stability standpoint, he's better than he's been, gripping the ball and things like that. Did Venables just reveal that Mateer hasn't been the same? He hasn't been able to grip the ball? He's had pain? Of course that's going to affect your throwing. Of course it's going to affect your accuracy, your thumb on your throwing hand.
But what is the downside? What was the downside 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago of admitting that?
We've been asking this question for years about lots of different people and groups. If something bad happens and the public kind of knows about it, it's probably best to just inform the public about exactly what's happened and say, this has happened. Here's how we're dealing with it.
I mean, these college coaches just are freaky about injuries and not letting anything, because they don't want to give the other team an edge. Well, I got news.
That's ridiculous.
I got news. No defensive coordinator is gonna strategize differently if they go ahead and admit, yeah, Mateer's thumb is hurting.
Oh, if his thumb's hurting, in that case, we're not.
We're gonna load the box. They're gonna try to run the ball, and we're gonna load the box.
We're gonna really try to tackle him when he runs.
Then I guess we don't need to cover the receivers as tight.
No, we don't even need secondary. We don't even need defensive backs. We don't need safeties. We don't need we don't even need linebackers. We'll just have 11 linemen line up because his thumb might be hurting.
I mean, they can. The opposing team can see what everybody else sees. By the way, our good friend Chopper Dave is claiming. Now, this hasn't been confirmed. He is claiming it's Brent Venables' birthday.
Should we go ahead and sing Vinny the birthday song?
Okay, but it's with an asterisk.
Unconfirmed?
It's an unconfirmed birthday.
Most birthdays are.
Yeah, I know. Hit it. This is your birthday song. It doesn't last too long. Hey, happy 78th birthday today to Oklahoma football coach Brent Vinny Venables.
Nathan, Brent Venables is the last person to say, yeah, he's hurt. He's like Bob Stoops. It just won't comment, and yet he revealed that Mateer finally, still has some soreness, but he's able to grip the ball better, indicating, yeah, he'd been able to grip the ball. Well, that's probably one of the reasons he's been so off target with some of his passes since Auburn. It's okay to admit it, Nathan.
I don't see the downside of admitting that. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
I think he's been approaching football with fear.
You can't live in fear, Coach Venables.
Good morning, sunny and 47. This is the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Aithup. An arrest warrant has been issued for an Elk City man following a multi-week investigation into allegations involving child sexual abuse material and probation violations. According to court records, 20-year-old Newt Russell Stewart Reynolds is accused of possessing child sexual abuse material, possessing alcohol and marijuana while underage and on probation, and destroying evidence during an active investigation. The warrant was issued on December 8th. He has not been arrested as of press time. The investigation began in October after Elk City police responded to a civil dispute. A juvenile female reported Reynolds possessed explicit images of her and said she was only 16 at the time. Investigators later obtained search warrants and say Snapchat data revealed files containing child sexual abuse material. Reynolds allegedly admitted deleting the images when police were called. Officers also reported finding alcohol and marijuana at the apartment. Court records show Reynolds was already on probation from a prior DUI-related case. Charges are allegations only, and Reynolds is presumed innocent until proven guilty. A single vehicle injury collision was reported late Monday night in rural Custer County, according to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. The crash occurred at approximately 10:06 p.m. in a wheat field northeast of the intersection of County Roads 2390 and 855. That's 2.7 miles north of Thomas. Troopers reported that the vehicle was traveling southbound in the wheat field when it dropped into a waterway washout. The driver, 28-year-old Destry D. Christensen of Hydro, was injured in the collision. A passenger was also injured. Neither occupant was wearing a seatbelt. No fatalities were reported, and next of kin have been notified. The collision is under investigation by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol Troop H. Elk City leaders cut the ribbon to a new airport hangar and terminal at the Elk City Municipal Airport, marking a major investment in the city's future and aviation-based economic development. The project replaces the aging terminal building and adds a modern hangar capable of housing jet aircraft. City Manager Tom Ivester said the project represents real progress for the community.
It took a lot of effort and calculated risk by the city commission and the mayor and the former mayor to go out and actually do this. And this is what progress looks like, and this is what economic development looks like. To build something without an actual tenant or occupant. And you should have been in here yesterday because this thing was 3/4 full. We had another jet, we had another twin engine, we had a helicopter. And it's not going to be long until this thing is filled. And progress at the airport means progress for Elk City.
The more than $5.6 million project included the hangar, terminal, taxi lanes, and utility infrastructure. State funding covered just over $3 million, with the city paying the remainder without taking on debt. State and local leaders said the new facilities position Elk City as a regional aviation hub and a new front door for business and growth in western Oklahoma. These stories and more on our Facebook page and website. Sunny right now in 47. This has been the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Aitho.
What if you got yourself a new pickup for Christmas? While it's still 2025, Barbara Dyson Ford has all 2025 F-150s ready to go with 0% interest for 60 months. Pick any trim package you want, the deal's the same. All 2025 F-150s come with no interest for 5 years. And to make sure you get everyone else gifts they want, make no payments for 90 days. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Barbara Dyson Ford. Online at barbadysonford.net. This message, Santa certified, and comes with a North Pole seal of approval.
Need a trip hopper, feed buggy, or cattle chute? Call Barnes Feed Service in Hobart, Oklahoma. 580-726-2120.
We couldn't find anyone better to put on the air during the commercial, so Nathan and Landry Brewer are back. The early morning show on KECO.
You know, you remind me of Carl's uncle. That's who you remind me of. Farmers use a lot of oil every single season, and, well, oil field companies just use a lot of oil, period. Camrock's oil does the same thing the expensive brands do. They just do it for less money. So if you use a lot of oil, you're going to save a lot of money with Camrock Supply next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. They're also in Oklahoma City, Midland, Texas, and Ulysses, Kansas. God, there was something I was going to talk to you about and say, and now I don't even remember what it was.
Was it football?
225-9696. So happy birthday to Brent Venables. I have predicted he'll lose his voice by halftime tomorrow night.
I don't doubt it.
You don't doubt I predicted it?
By the first quarter. By the end of the first quarter. Nathan, Brent Venables inadvertently confirmed something you and I have known for several weeks.
Okay, but Landry, here's the deal. Yeah, they've had 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a home game. But it's probably the same offense, isn't it? That couldn't
Nathan,
score.
There are wrinkles. There are wrinkles.
Oh, come on.
Nathan, the running backs are healthy. The linemen are probably healthy and now academically eligible. And, you know, Tate Sandell, he's got those short shorts and long kicks.
You know what I think? I think Brent, because of who he is, I think he likes this style of football.
Oh, I do too.
I think he would rather win games 24-17 than try to win them 45-41 or lose them 45-41. I really do. I think he likes this kind of ball.
He loves defense, of course.
Which is great, except you've got to be able to score some. If you want to actually win playoff games, you've got to get into the 20s. You got to get into the 20s at least.
I don't disagree.
Fox News Exploring Energy Tradio at 10 today, and Ag at noon. Backroads at 3. Country Music, all in local award-winning news and sports. 96.5 KECO in Elk City. Hey, can I just be blunt with you? We love you.
Wow, that was blunt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest stars in country music. Hear that?